case, we have some of the pioneer families that helped to found Lake Mary. This is Miles Tanner, who was here in the early 1880s. And this is his son-in-law, John 48. Miles Tanner gave an acre of land on the east side of Longwood Lake Mary, what is now Longwood Lake Mary Road, for the establishment of a grade school, because there were no schools in the area. So he gave the land, signed over the deed to the school board, and all the citizens of the community pitched together and built the school. It cost a whopping $449 to build back in 1885. It was a 20 by 20 foot building, which we'll get to over here, and it held grades 1 through 9. This is this is Reverend Sundell, who also came here from Sweden by way of Massachusetts. And he came here and established the Uppsala Presbyterian Church in Sanford, and also the Lake Mary Presbyterian Church in 1894. He bought the land for the Lake Mary Church from Axel Schoblum. This is Reverend Sundell, and behind him is his wife, Mary. They owned property on what was an unnamed lake over there, and that's now Lake Mary, because back then, if you owned it, you could call it what you wanted. He named it after his wife, so that's why we're called Lake Mary. So this is his tombstone, his bench, which is in the Lake Mary Cemetery, which is off of Crystal Lake, down by the railroad tracks. This is Axel Schoblum. This is who Reverend Sundell bought the land for the church from. Axel came here in 1883 from an ad from Colonel Sanford, only stayed for about 4 months and then traveled south to South Florida and ended up in Forest City, where he lived for about 6 years, and then came back. He was instrumental in plotting some land for homes here. This is the Dunn family. They were here in the very early 1900s, and they owned land back by Seminole State College. It was a subdivision called Woldon, at which they divided out in the early 1900s.
Is that why it's called Weldon Avenue?
No.
Okay.
It's called Weldon Avenue because Dr. Weldon founded the college,
Okay.
which is supposed to be in Lake Mary.
And-
That's a whole nother thing.
And what is the name? What is the name of the subdivision?
Woldun.
Okay.
The other family was the WOL, and they put their land together, and that was the Seminole State College land. The Humphreys were here this is William Humphrey and his family. The Humphreys owned all the land up Longwood Lake Mary Road to the east. They had cattle and horses. William Humphrey was the son of the original settler here. The original settler was Mac Humphrey, and he was here in 1866. That's the earliest I can document through deeds that we have. But that was William Humphrey and his family, so that was Mac's son and grandchildren. This was Homer and Lena Gleason. They came in 1925 and bought this building that Frank Evans built here on the west side of Country Club Road. It's no longer here, but they started one of the first stores, especially in this area. There were 2 gasoline pumps, as you can see, and this is the inside of the store. And they lived in the space up top of the store. And I always say, if this was like the 1920s version of Publix, if you couldn't find it here, you had to go to another town to find it. Down here we have Harvey and Lois Pugh. And Harvey was the law for Lake Mary. up until we got our police force in 1975. He was deputized by the Seminole County Sheriff's Department, had a 38 special with a little emblem on the side. And whenever there was trouble in Lake Mary, they would call their house and he would go out and settle whatever the dispute was. But until 1975, it was him. And this picture is of Hattie French Boyd, and she is part of a family that was important to Lake Mary, and also French from French Avenue in Sanford. But she had homes both here and in Sanford.